Hello. Welcome to another edition of Bars to Bricks Ministries. I am your favorite felon, the Rev, Dr. Kev. Today we're going to talk about positive changes for those who have been incarcerated and that people incarcerated can make sometimes where they have an advantage of these positive changes. Please like, share, subscribe, get the word out. Let us not forget we're also working on a case. Gary Wayne Sutton, the man is innocent on death row. If you haven't checked that out, please go check out that playlist. It'll blow your mind. Today, though, we're going to talk about positive changes for those who have been incarcerated can make. It's important to remember that many of those who have served time in prison have been released and are now leading successful lives. We often hear, all the time we hear, the negative consequences that come with incarceration. But there are many positive changes that come with it as well. In this video, I'll be discussing some of the positive changes that those who have been released from prison have made. Body. This increased self-awareness of everything. For many, going to prison can be an eye-opening experience. It can provide an opportunity for those who have incarcerated to reflect on their past mistakes, to gain insight into their own behavior. This can also lead to increased self awareness and a better understanding of why they acted the way they did. This can be an important step for those who want to make positive changes in their lives. We have to be aware of what we're doing, of how our actions affect other people, and all of that. And that's all part of that self awareness. We have to know us and know what makes us tick, know what triggers us to make us angry or whatever, and be able to learn and get through those. Number two is increased responsibility. Those who've been incarcerated often have to take responsibility for their actions and their behavior. This can be an important lesson for many who do not have had to take responsibility for their own actions before. Taking responsibility for their actions can help them to become more mature and to make better choices in the future. Number three is increased resilience. Being incarcerated can be a stressful experience, and many who have been incarcerated from prison have shown a great deal of resilience. This resilience can come from them having to cope with difficult situations that they may face in the future. It can also come from them staying focused on their goals to stay motivated despite any obstacles that might come their way. And trust me, there are going to be obstacles. There are, just as soon as you think you have something figured out, things are going right, something's going to jump in and try to spoil your plans. And that's where that self awareness and increased responsibility comes in. And then number four also has a very important part of positive coping mechanisms. Many who have been incarcerated have developed positive coping mechanisms to deal with their emotions and stress of their situation. They may have learned to use meditation, exercise, or journaling to help them stay focused and to keep their emotions in check. These positive coping mechanisms can be extremely helpful when it comes to making positive changes in their lives. Increased job skills. Many men who have been incarcerated can benefit from work programs or different jobs where they can learn a different job training while they're in prison. This can be a great opportunity for them to gain valuable job skills that can help them to find employment after their release. It can also be a great way for them to gain experience and to develop their skills in order to have a successful career. And as well, even if you don't use those skills professionally on the street. There's a lot of stuff that I learned that I use all the time, and I have even used professionally. You know, electrical skills, some of the plumbing stuff, and all that. And you know, but still, we learn different job skills. And it's important to note that a good portion of people that go into prison, especially the younger they are, the least amount of job skills or job force experience they have. Um, they just, whatever reason, didn't get stuff together, get going. Mental health issues or substance abuse or substance use disorder issues are prevalent. Um, it's so these skills in prison, they're actually heightened skills on the street, but they're your day to day normal skills for survival in prison. When someone gets out of prison, civic responsibility. Here's where you come in. You guys that have never been to prison, you guys that are these great citizens, you guys that are these upstanding citizens, here's where you come in. Here is your responsibility. When someone's released into your community, is there jobs for them? Is there housing for them? Because, you know, a lot of these jobs, they don't want to hire felons. A lot of these housing developments, they don't want felons to live there. Well, if people don't want someone to come out of prison to live by them, if they don't want them to work with them, what are they supposed to do? Don't be surprised when they commit another crime and go back to prison because you failed your civic responsibility. Don't start judging people because they've been to prison before. I've known some people that I've been in prison with that were much better people than most of them I've met on the streets who've never been in trouble with the law. A lot of times, the criminal isn't the crime. They It happened. They made a mistake or whatever, and a lot of times, like I said, over I think the statistics are 80 something percent, so lower between 80 and 85% of prison inmates, at least in Kansas, either directly or indirectly linked with drugs or alcohol, substance abuse, or substance use disorder of some sort. Sorry, they've changed the language in the DSM. It's no longer substance abuse; it's substance use disorder, and I'm trying to get used to using the new language. In conclusion, though, there is a lot of positive changes that those who have been incarcerated can make. Increased self awareness, responsibility, resilience, positive coping mechanisms, and job skills can all help those who've been released from prison to make positive changes in their lives. It is important to remember that everyone deserves a second chance, and with the right support, those who have been incarcerated can make positive changes in their lives. Now, there was a key point with the right support. And I don't mean getting out your wallet and handing over cash. That's not what I mean by helping. I mean a help up, not a help out. A hand up, not a hand out. You know what I mean? Um, but it's our responsibility as Americans. Now, why is it people sit there? Well, that's not my responsibility. Not my. That's his problem. That's. But I tell you what. Let the Mona Lisa get damaged in a robbery or something. Every idiot in this world is going to be trying to fix that painting. But how come we don't show the same compassion for a human life? Why? Why in our world do we care more about art and inanimate objects we consider priceless, but yet the human lives that are really priceless, we just toss them out and throw them away? Seems to be an issue. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope this has helped somebody a little bit. Hopefully, it's helped somebody that's getting out or got out and watching this. Some family members, some people that are getting out. It's a good list. People may not even know they've learned this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we need that help, and that's part of the being there, that help, that support. It's, now you got this. Remember all them idiots in prison you had to deal with, and you didn't blow off the handle? Man, don't let them out here be any different. Whatever, oh, you didn't give up back then. Come on, let's keep going, and you got this. Just that positive and reinforcement, that encouragement that can make all the difference in the world. Um, it's just, people can change. Got to give them the right tools. They have to want a desire to change, and of course, they have to have the mental faculties to do so. But with that being said, all everyone that meets that criteria can change. You can change if you want to. You don't like what you're doing today, change it. It's that simple. Thank you guys. I love y'all. Have a great one. I hope this has been helpful and informative. Till next time, I'm the Rev Dr. Kev, and I'm out.